Mumbai studios of Republic TV, it's time for Arnab Goswami on the debate.
Arnab Goswami on the debate at 10. Presented by Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 3 5G. Powered by Reva University, Vedanta, B1 and Greenland.
The barbarity of the Taliban is reflecting on the streets of Afghanistan. Thousands of unarmed citizens pushing back Taliban who are pointing machine guns at them. Women being treated like subhumans. We have videos of journalists being abducted and thrashed for capturing the truth. The Taliban saying officially and on the record that the only job of women is to give birth. Tonight I want to question the Taliban liberals and the woke media that asked the world to give these terrorists a chance. What would you say now? Let's debate.
Meet the women who are teaching terrorists a lesson. Watch how the women of Afghanistan are pushing back the Taliban that is pointing guns at them. These are the women who are being treated like subhumans, being referred to as half melons by the Taliban terrorists.
خربزه‌ای که چاق شده رو می‌خری یا خربزه‌ای که سالم مانده است. طبیعی است از خربزه سالم می‌گیری. یعنی حجاب برای زن همینطور است.
They are being called reproductive machines. According to the Taliban, they have no role in governance.
نیست که در کابینه زن باشه. ما یک قدر برات میگم. یعنی ضرور است که زن داشته باشه ما در کابینه.
چرا ضرور نیست آقای؟
چی ضرورت داره؟ تو ضرورتش بر من بکن.
خب زن نصف پیکر جامعه نیست مگه؟
ولی ما خود نصفش ندانستیم اونا را. کلگی نصف میدانه. خود نصف چه رقم نصف؟ همین نصف که ما تعریف میکنیم همین نصف خودش غلط تعریف میشه اینجا. نصفی است که تو رو در کابینه ماندی نمیست.
From denigrating, attacking, killing women to abducting journalists, it's unfolding live. That was a photojournalist being taken away live. Watch the aftermath of mass lashings across Afghanistan. Journalists are being abducted, whipped, thrashed. Some have died. Many are struggling to walk. India has made its stand clear on the Taliban brutalities.
In this context, we reiterate the need for the voices of Afghan women to be heard. We need to enable all Afghans, including women, children and minorities, to live in peace and dignity.
Tonight, these pictures of women and journalists in Afghanistan are staring back at us. What's deafening is the silence of the Taliban liberals and those who sold the idea of a reformed Taliban to the world. Let's debate.
And ladies and gentlemen, with us tonight I have Murzal Nurzai, Afghan activist. She's joining us from Canada. We have an activist with us from Kabul. She's wearing a mask there on your screen. I'm only going to refer to her as the Kabul activist. Her name is not disclosed because she has threats on her. I thank you for joining us. And I hope you can hear me. Yes. And I have with me Gauravaria. We have with us Jas Opal. We have with us Professor Hidayatullah Paktin from Kabul. He's a political analyst. We have Arzu Kazmi, a journalist from Islamabad. We have Khairullah Shinwari. He's a political activist from Istanbul. And we'll have some other panelists joining us in just a bit. I want to begin the debate tonight by requesting our guest, the lady activist from Kabul, to give a reality check on what's happening. We were shocked here when we saw the Taliban spokesperson say on Tolo News that the only job of women is to give birth and to reproduce, that women cannot be considered human and therefore cannot be considered to be half the population. How are people taking to all this?
So, Taliban are so terrible in Afghanistan. There are those savage people or unclear group that we don't know from where they come and by who they support, and they just want to, for example, take all over Afghanistan and want to kill the people and want to do what they want about people.
Yeah, I'm just trying to...
The situation of Afghanistan...
Yes, please. Yes, please go on. There was a little problem with the audio line, but yes, I think we can hear you now. Yes.
Yeah, so can I have the question again?
Yeah, so please, my question was that we've been horrified to see the Taliban talk about women in the way that they are doing. To say the only job of women in Afghanistan is to give birth. How are people responding? How are women responding to all this?
So women are under control of Taliban. The action of women are under control of Taliban. Because always they just, we have many cases about women that the Taliban kidnap them and transfer them in some unclear places. And we have some cases in province of Afghanistan that they just gunshot on policewoman that was in the past in government and killed them in front of your family.
I'm so sorry, but I'm having a real problem, and I really request our producers to get that audio line through because it's so important for my program tonight. But I think it's a responsibility of everybody to speak up. And my question is to Professor Hidayatullah Paktin. How can you sit by and accept all this, Professor Paktin? Would you like to come into the debate with Murzal Nurzai? We are horrified seeing this. You've heard what the Taliban has said. They're treating women worse than animals. They're talking about them in these uncivilized ways. Are you saying this is the way things are going to be in Afghanistan?
Thank you. As you know better now in Afghanistan situation is emergency situation. Because in every workplace...
I can't hear. I'm having an audio problem. Anand, can we fix the audio, please? No, we get a phone line audio, please, Anand, so that we can at least continue with the discussion. Thank you. Yes, please.
Can you hear me?
Carry on. Yeah.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you. Anand, can we get the audio line through, please? Thank you. Yeah, please go on. If you can just speak a little slower, because with this bad audio, at least I'll be able to get what you're saying. Yes.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can.
Clear here. You sound clearly.
Okay, so while I get the lines from Kabul fixed, and I think Anand, our production team, can work on that, let me get in another voice. Let's hope we get the audio through right. Khairullah Shinwari, you're in Istanbul. Can you hear me? Let me see if I get the audio through with you first. Can you hear me, Mr. Shinwari?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, Mr. Shinwari. The Taliban have said that women are only good for giving birth. That is their only job. Right? Is this acceptable?
No, I cannot confirm this statement officially issued by Taliban spokesman or anyone else. I think it's something from an individual who is irresponsible.
No, it is by a Taliban spokesperson sitting in a Tolo News studio.
Can I have the name, please?
You will deny the person?
Yeah, I'm denying he's not the responsible person who is having such statement.
Why are you so keen to defend the Taliban? Why are you so keen? Why are you so keen to defend the Taliban?
Well, definitely, we have seen and we have noted things that Taliban promised to the people of Afghanistan. They promised that they will give women their rights according to our values, our nation values, and our religion, Islam actually, and that's what they are doing right now.
How do you know they're doing that? The person is Taliban spokesperson Syed Zakarullah Hashmi. Very responsible person.
Syed Zakirullah Hashimi is not a responsible Taliban member. He's just a TV debate person who is going to debates, just like me or anyone else in here. He's not Taliban spokesperson.
Well, it's not been denied.
No, he's not. He's not.
And what about the women who are at whom guns are being pointed outside the Pakistan embassy? They are what? They are Turkish or they are Afghan women?
Look, let's explain this first, that it is a positive...
So how, no, 1 minute. You want to sit there and presumably for your own advantage or something that you want to gain from the Taliban, you want to support them. You don't have the heart to speak up right now. Machine guns are pointed at women. Every day we have reports, women are being treated as subhuman. You say a Taliban spokesperson didn't say it. I think today, Murzal, you should tell him that the Taliban spokesperson also said that a woman who does not wear a hijab is like a sliced lemon, sliced melon.
No, it is not true. Actually, it's not true.
That is also not true.
The women are going to offices, they are going to the hospitals, they are going everywhere, those women. The doctors are in the
How many women have been taken into the government?
Just give me.
How many women have been taken into the government?
Yes, they are going.
How many women have been taken into the government?
The nurse, they are going to their daily jobs.
Nurse. And how many have been?
Yeah, the nurses are going because they don't want women to be treated from the male doctors and nurses. So that was also done during 1996 and 2001. So first of all, I need to ask this person from Turkey, how does he describes and defines human and women rights? Let's not put human rights, but how can you define women rights?
Yeah, women rights.
Because if you are saying,
choosing their.
No. Because if you are saying that the woman will not be given the right to work in the regime or be part of the regime that they are organizing. And this statement is true that Arnab is mentioning, and it's been repeated again and again by the Taliban members via different channels. And also you can see on different social media that now Taliban are restricting all kind of protests because they don't want the world to hear the reality and see the reality. So because they want to abandon women from all this, because women always speak the truth, and they don't want women to be part of their dirty work, for them to be exposed in the world. Women are beaten up, they are being kept hostage in the parking lots, and you can see in front of the Pakistan embassy when women were protesting against Pakistan and Taliban activities. So they were beaten and they were all in blood and shit. So how can you deny when you can see the facts via different social media?
Yeah.
Okay. If you guys allow me to answer to all these questions, so I would have some time for this. Okay, please. give me some time to answer your questions and your concerns. The first thing, it is a positive movement. It's a positive step that we have women's protest in Kabul right now. We have women's protesting in Kunduz. We have women's protesting in Herat. This is a positive step moving forward.
1 second.
Well,
have you 1 minute? 1 minute. Kerala, 1 minute. Kerala Shinwari. Kerala, 1 minute. Just a minute. You say it's a positive thing. You know, when the women go out to protest,
yes,
these Taliban brutes, you know, they pick up their guns and they point their guns at them. They threaten to shoot the women. And the women don't stop. What do you mean no? I'll show you the pictures. What do you mean no? You're sitting in Istanbul. Who are you to say no? Have you seen the pictures?
First of all, if you let me, I will answer.
No, 1 minute. I'm showing you the pictures. How can you say no?
Yeah.
How can you say no? These pictures, the women are being beaten. They're refusing to keep quiet. Guns are being pointed at them. Yeah, Tariq Ghaznewal is with me tonight. He's a supporter of the Taliban, unfortunately. Yes, unfortunately. Very unfortunately. Because no civilized person should be a supporter of the Taliban. And the way in which the Taliban are treating women, Gaurav, you can tell him, you think that you will be able to keep half the population of your country under lock and key? You'll be able to keep them behind bars, in house custody? You think you'll manage your country like that? You won't. I'll show the pictures. You know, these Taliban terrorists, they are brandishing women, Gaurav. I'll let the pictures play. Women are protesting at the gate. They're brandishing guns. Women are continuing to march. Machine guns and rifles are being pointed at the women, right? Just look at these pictures. The women are not stopping. You think they will continue to rule Afghanistan and continue, or they perhaps feel, Gaurav, that they'll put some fear in the minds of the women and make them reconcile to their new status, which I don't think will happen. I don't think it will happen. But people like Tariq Ghaznewal probably think it will.
Arnab, you know, what's a very important thing that we are seeing on the Afghan street?
Yeah.
Taliban stands for the segregation of men and women. But when you see these protests, you see men and women standing together, shoulder to shoulder, protesting against the Taliban.
Exactly.
So I think that is the first game that the Taliban has lost.
They're going to lose everything.
You can imprison women, you can imprison women, you can beat them, but you will never win. Because you can't, they are unarmed people, Arnab. They're carrying the Afghanistan flag. They have nothing, they don't have weapons like the Taliban. And it's just pure courage. There's nothing else. They have nothing else, these women, only courage. And you can't defeat such people.
Yeah. Tariq.
जी सर, ये फुटेज जो आप दिखा रहे हैं ये काबुल का मेरे ख्याल में अभी नहीं है, ये पुराना है। ये वो फिल्में जो उन्होंने बनाया था उसके साथ
ये फुटेज तो मैं दिखा रहा हूँ ना, ये काबुल के सड़कों में हो रहा है। और मैंने आप ये कल परसों पिछले 4-5 एक हफ्ते से क्या हो रहा है वहाँ पे? आप पकड़ के आप कहते हैं आप जर्नलिस्ट हैं, इतने जर्नलिस्टों को मारा है, 1 मिनट, और आप कहते हैं आप जर्नलिस्ट हैं। आप अगर जर्नलिस्ट हैं तो आप बोलिए, आज जितने जर्नलिस्टों को मारा है, पकड़ के कोई भी जर्नलिस्ट जो भी रिपोर्ट करता है उसको मारते हैं। ये कब तक चलेगा? ये चलने वाला नहीं है गजनीवाल जी।
सर आप मुझे टाइम दे दें, मैं काबुल के बारे में आपको पूरा मालूमात दे दूँगा, काबुल और अफगानिस्तान के बारे में। अभी जो आपको अगर मुझे टाइम नहीं दे रहे मतलब उसके बारे में कि जो जर्नलिस्ट मारा गया है या ये प्रोसेस जो 2-3 दिन पहले हुआ था, उसके बारे में मेरे पास पूरा डिटेल।
आपकी आवाज़ क्लियर नहीं आ रही। आपकी आवाज़ क्लियर नहीं है। Yes, Khairullah, what are you protesting? I'll get me at Khairullah back. I request the producers to fix the lines on this, because let's get our friends on the phone lines, because otherwise the debate, will be difficult to carry on. Anand, can you please look at that? Khairullah, why are you getting worked up? You know how many journalists are being brutalized? There are haunting images. I'll show some on the screen. 28-year-old Afghan video reporter Niyamat Naqdi and 22-year-old video editor Taki Daryabi brutalized by the Taliban on the 9th of September in Kabul. These are the pictures. This is the condition of journalists in Kabul today. Are you seeing these pictures, or are these pictures fabricated, Kerala? Are you seeing these pictures? This is what is happening to any journalist in Kabul who is reporting the truth. Yes.
Yes, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you see these pictures? Yeah.
Definitely. Look, if you are talking about journalists, there has been dozens of journalists that are targeted and killed in the previous government. Why you are not talking about that? The journalists who were abducted and then dead bodies found in Kandahar by General Razik, by other militia leaders, by other generals of
I am only telling you what is happening today. What I am telling you is that hundreds of journalists have been abducted. They are being whiplashed. There are mass lashings. Journalists are kidnapped, whipped, brutalized, thrashed. You're smiling. You must have some interest there. I mean, you know, there are journalists who are even struggling to walk. Why can't you speak up? Why can't you speak up? You have some interest there? You have some interest to manage with the Taliban?
I don't have
What is your interest?
Just like Indian media has with their contention from the ISI in Pakistan.
I am telling you.
They are looking at this. That is why you.
I am telling you, women are being targeted at gunpoint.
Doing the propaganda. You have said
women are being targeted at gunpoint. This is propaganda. Murzal will tell you what is propaganda. You're not being.
That is not true. That is how you are doing propaganda. Let's stop all this.
The propaganda is being done by BBC and CNN, sir.
Can you please let me so I can tell you?
You're getting flustered.
Would like very normal relation with India. India is our friend. We are working.
We are never friends of terrorists, sir. We are not friends of terrorist governments. I'm sorry.
India to work with region. Why you are always insisting in looking at Afghanistan from the perspective of Pakistan's enemies?
We don't care two hoots about Pakistan.
But
we
do see that Pakistan is involved in this. But we do see whatever his name is. I cannot see you right now.
Look, it is a huge propaganda that Pakistani Air Force was involved in Panjshir. That is not true. That is not true. Let's stop all this.
Let's not talk about Panjshir. Afghanistan is not defined based on a specific valley or a city. Afghanistan stands for its name itself. We stand for our country. We stand for our nation, and we stand for the women of that country. And if you are saying and targeting only Panjshir or Kandahar or whatsoever, let's keep that with yourself. And it's not about Pakistan, it's not about India. We don't care about anything. We care about the facts that we see, and we see that Pakistan has a keen interest in Afghanistan. We have seen that even during the death of Osama bin Laden, Pakistan was trying to cover up the death already before he died or before he was captured by the US Army, so by Musharraf's government. So if you are saying that you are in Afghanistan and you have won this war against the US, and we have to accept that Taliban has won the war and captured Afghanistan, then it's a, sorry to mention this word, but that's a bullshit, and we don't accept it, because it's a war deliberately lost by US and gifted Afghanistan on a silver platter to Taliban. And we know exactly that the Taliban have been placed in Afghanistan for whatever strategies and divisions now being seen or being strategized to these terrorist groups, whether it's Al-Qaeda or Taliban or the Haqqani groups. How can you make a regime without involving women? When Taliban is saying that women will be part of, women will be allowed to give education, they will be allowed to go and work, but then not involving them in the government, it shows clearly where it's going. It was the same pattern during 1996 and 2001, and it's happening now again. So let's not talk about that Taliban are some good cops.
I think I would say this. I think I have the line with our guest from Kabul. the lady activist back. Can you hear me now? Is the audio line better? General Bakshi, just coming to you in just a minute.
Yeah,
yeah.
I can hear you.
Now, all these Afghan men who are there on the program, one from Istanbul, another from Kabul, they're all saying that everything is perfectly all right, they're saying. They said women are going out, they are doing jobs, they are being encouraged, they are leading a free life. It's just that some sections of the media are misreporting things. They say women have never had greater rights than they are now having under the Taliban. I'm putting all the facts to them, but you're on the ground. I want you to tell them what the reality is. They need to know, because all these men are conspirators along with the Taliban tonight. I need them to know, I need the world to know.
So, Afghan women are, their action, their thought, their hijab are under control of Taliban. They don't allow the women to go outside alone in many places. I don't know that those who say that women can walk free, they can go outside very good than the past, like the past. It's all lie. And the Taliban also traded all social medias of Afghanistan that should not report the reality for the world. They just try to think that if they just report the reality, they will kill them. So women are, their action, their thought, all the things are limited and under control of Taliban. I, as a young Afghan writer, poet, and musician, my action, my thought, everything is under control of Taliban. Taliban are so cruel, they are savage, they beat the women. I saw with my own eyes that just they beat young Afghan girls that were just walking in the street, just because of her clothes. Her clothes was very good, but Taliban want a hijab, not the Islamic hijab. They just want Taliban hijab. So, and also we have so many cases nowadays in Kabul that Taliban kidnap their boys and girls and just transfer them in unclear places. That it make us so worried, make all the people of Afghanistan worry, make the mothers, fathers worry that.
We have with us now Nazar Mutmain. I hope the audio line is okay with you.
Yes.
Mr. Mutmain, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I have
Yes,
with us, women of Taliban, of Afghanistan have started speaking up and protesting against the Taliban. The way in which you are treating women, the way in which the Taliban are shooting women. In the Ghor province, a policewoman was killed in front of her family members. Her eyes were gouged out. You have imposed a very harsh dress code, and no women have been included in the government. Why is that? Why is there no representation for women in Afghanistan today, Mr. Mutmain? No representation for any woman in Afghanistan today.
Yes, salam to everyone. And regarding the present situation, the protest and demonstration in Kabul, it was only in Kabul against the Taliban. And since 20 years, there was propaganda and there was a project of the women against Taliban. There was a different project how to negative image to the people of about Taliban. So still those projects ongoing. It is not ended. Sima Samar, she was advisor to President Ghani, and she was head of the human rights. Her voice leaked. Sima Samar requested the girls of Kabul to come to the street and show some action regarding Taliban.
Why should they not? No. You just said, Mr. Mutmain, sorry to interrupt you there. You said that, and this is very interesting, are you hearing this? General Bakshi, he's saying that there is a project of the women of Afghanistan against the Taliban. This is very interesting.
Yes.
He's saying that the women of Afghanistan for 20 years...
The fund is not ended. The fund is coming from America. The fund is coming from our neighbor countries, even from those countries. They supported in last 20 years.
Okay, so Mr. Mutmain, tell me. Mr. Mutmain, tell me. It is your mindset. I'm sorry.
Please.
Mr. Mutmain, I'll tell you one thing.
Those women, they came to the street.
Why are you scared of the women of Afghanistan?
Of the real Afghan women.
Why are you scared of the women of Afghanistan?
Of the Afghan women.
No, I tell you, Mr. Mutmain, you are scared.
From West, and they are living and they are implementing the West project.
No, you are scared of the women of Afghanistan. It is quite evident. They were
in the protest yesterday. They are not the women of Afghanistan. They are not the real picture of the Afghanistan women. They are supporting West and they are receiving the money and they help
so tell me, okay, you are only ascribing motive. Does Murzal want to reply? Actually, why would I not request our activist from Kabul to respond?
Can I leave?
General Bakshi, let me get a view from Kabul.
If we are not needed, can we leave?
General Bakshi, I will be coming to you. Because he made a point about Afghan women, and I think it is therefore the right of the Afghan women to respond to him. That's why I'm going across to, if that is all right. And then I'll come to you, sir.
No, it's an all-women debate, I think.
No, General Bakshi, I don't think there's any debate that concerns women is only an all-women debate. But request you to please stay. I'll just get a response from the activist because he has said some very disparaging things about women.
Brother?
Yes. Just 1 minute. Just 1 minute.
You hear me?
Be patient. I can hear you. Can I request? Can I request? Will you listen to the other side? No. Will you listen? Will you listen to the other side?
I don't know which kind of the program is going on.
I'll tell you, it's not a Taliban program.
If you have some
it's better than I'll tell you, Mr. Mutmain, you are very comfortable when some Talibanis with an inferiority complex.
She is not representative. Please me.
No, she is not. She's representing herself. Can she speak? Will you allow her to speak, or will you block her from speaking because you're a Taliban supporter? She's going to speak, whether you allow, whether you want it or not. She's in Kabul and she's going to speak, and you will have to listen to her. I would like her to respond to you.
Please, you give a lot of time to her. She indeed her speak. Please, if you have some question, if some people,
I think you are very insecure, Mr. Mutmain. I think an outspoken woman makes you insecure and frightened. That's what I think.
Okay, but it's not.
I'll have Murzal and an activist from the left, and I'll have these two Taliban supporters on the right. I'd like her to respond to you, please. Please go ahead.
Okay, she will. If she have some.
So my question to you is: Afghanistan is a Muslim country since 1400 years, right? So. Which kind of Islam are we talking about when Taliban is saying that women will not be allowed to work, that women will not be allowed in the regime, in the government that's being built by or that's been set up by Taliban? Do you know, being a Muslim girl, alhamdulillah, do you know who Hazrat Khadija was? And this is my question to you. Do you know that Hazrat Khadija, the first wife of Muhammad, was a business lady? So if you are saying that it's a Muslim country and we want to bring a Muslim government and a Muslim community in Afghanistan, then I think we should go back and see the things that our Prophet has done and his wives has done, right? So my question to them is, when back then the Muslim women were allowed to work and be part of the day-to-day activities, why not now? Why the woman of Afghanistan needs to suffer based on some extremist version and self-integrated regime by the extremist groups?
Okay, so let's to think about this. Like, if there is a big changes like in Afghanistan, in India, in Pakistan, or in Bangladesh, what do you think? In 1 week or 2 weeks, the women will go to the offices, the women will come to the street. If there is the same big changes, like in Afghanistan,
first
Taliban
of all,
captured the Kabul.
1 minute, Mr. Mutmain.
So if I come to Kabul, will I be allowed to work? Will you give me a job in the state, in the government?
The women,
I'm telling you, I'm coming to Afghanistan. I'm coming to Afghanistan, and I will work with you to represent my woman, to represent the woman of Afghanistan. Being a single,
we need our Indian sister to come and assist Afghan women in education.
She is Afghan, Mutmain.
In business. This is good.
Mr. Mutmain, she is Afghan. I have a specific question to you.
Yes.
Why can she not be in government? I want to understand why she can't be. Why can't she be in government?
But still there is
no, I answer my question, Mr. Mutmain. Why can't Afghan women be in their own government? They are 50% of the population of Afghanistan. Why can't they be in the government? Why can't they be? Why can't they be? Answer my question.
The government is announced today. Please give me the structure of the government announced 2 days ago, and still the cabinet is not completed, and the secure situation is not secure 100%. Let's to
don't give excuses.
Taliban government.
Don't give excuses.
Taliban will
I'd like the activists from Kabul to respond also to this, please. You're giving excuses. You must never think that the rest of the world will not be watching. The rest of the world is watching, and you want to treat women as there is a 1 second. 1 minute. There is a viral video about how a Taliban official. 1 minute. A Taliban official is saying that a woman who does not wear a hijab is like a sliced melon.
But
No, 1 second. Answer my question. Why are you getting worked up? I'm asking you a question. You're not listening to my question. I think you're scared.
I'm a panel member. I'm not to listen to your speaking.
No, you are
not to listen to your speech. I'm a panel member. If you have some question, please.
I am asking you a question, but every time I ask you a question, you seem to be getting a little frightened.
Please,
of the question.
This is the rule of the show. If someone, let's to discuss the women right in Afghanistan.
No, I am asking you. I am asking. Your Talibanis are saying that the job of women is to
Indian people. You are giving wrong image to the world.
You think the Talibanis have any image
of the program?
You are nothing but an Al-Qaeda, a shielder of the Al-Qaeda, and you know that you have executed. I'll tell you. Are you 1 minute? Just 1 minute. The Taliban have massacred 6 Hazara men. I'll get General Bakshi in. You have been massacring. The Taliban have been massacring Hazaras. Where? I'll tell you where. If you have the courage to listen, I'll tell you where.
This is wrong.
No, 1 second. Don't respond by saying this is rubbish. Mr. Mutkail, you know something. I will tell you where, provided you listen. You have to listen to me now. General Bakshi, I am giving you information.
Is it
I am giving you information.
Or it is a command It is the military command radio.
I'm giving you information.
What's you saying?
I'm giving you. Ask me where, right? Can I tell you where?
Information.
Can I tell you where?
Wrong information. You
Can
are
I tell you
passing
where?
the wrong information to the Indian people. You are against the Indian nation. You are against the Afghanistan nation.
Calm down, yeah. Chill. Just relax.
Decreasing. Increasing.
Okay, so
the distance between
what is your
Afghanistan and
no?
Indian
1
nation.
minute. No, I don't have distrust. 1 minute. General Bakshi is here on the program. You asked me about the Hazaras, and I'll tell you exactly what. I'll give it right back to you. You know, I won't let you get away with it. I'll tell you, Hazara men were killed in the village of Mundarakht, massacred by the Taliban, General Bakshi. 6 were shot, 3 were tortured to death.
Absolutely.
1 was strangled with his own scarf and had his arm muscles sliced off. What do you mean where? General Bakshi, please. General Bakshi will tell you. You listen to someone else also now. Mr. Mutkain, listen to someone else. General Bakshi will tell you.
You are not a military general. Please.
Yeah, and you're not my sepoy, but I'm asking you a question. Yeah, go on, General Bakshi.
Please correct behavior of the question. You are question, but you are speaking like a military general.
Yeah, okay, so if you think I'm speaking like a military general, it's fine. For a Talibani like you to call me a military general is not a compliment. But I'll let it be. No, you're a Talibani. Obviously, you'll talk like that.
I'm an engineer and I'm living in Kabul.
Yeah, General Bakshi, okay, General Bakshi got up there. It's all right. Okay, Gaurav Arya is there. Gaurav, he's not being able to handle it. You can tell him how the Talibanis have treated the Hazaras in the past.
Arnab, the Hazara community has been massacred by the Talibanis, and it's been going on. Please let me speak, sir. Listen, this is not the Taliban Shura. You are behaving like it's a Taliban Shura. बदतमीजी मत करिए यहाँ पे. Please listen to other people. You're misbehaving. Please let other people talk. You're constantly talking, sir. Don't do this.
This is the wrong.
Okay. No, you don't deserve any respect. You're not allowing anybody else to speak. You're talking nonsense. Filthy fellow, keep quiet.
No abuse, carry on. Make the points.
I want to tell you, this person, Arnab, he's supporting the subjugation of women. This person is supporting the subjugation of women. This person deserves to go back into the cave. He just lied. He said it's an engineer. Where did you do your engineering from? कहाँ से पढ़ी engineering आपने?
Gaurav, let's come back to the point. He denied the massacre of Hazaras by the Taliban. Let's go to the point.
Arnab, he's lying. Arnab, they are lying for everything. Arnab, they are lying about everything. They are lying about women being subjugated. They are lying about Hazaras. They are lying about each and every single thing. They say these are old videos. आप इनसे पूछिए, they say these are old videos. They are lying about everything. They are denying everything. The world is saying there are videos on YouTube, Arnab. There are videos on social media. But these people are lying about each and everything because they are liars. They are not good Muslims. They are not good Muslims.
Now
you are lying, sir. You are lying for everything. You are lying.
Hello.
Unable to reply right now. Unable to reply. Let me go across to Arzu. Arzu, you're sitting there in Islamabad today. Your Afghan sisters are telling you their plight. You're making people like Mr. Mutmain, Tariq Ghaznewala, everybody there who supports the Taliban, you're actually emboldening them. Are you comfortable with this? Are you comfortable with this? As a Pakistani woman and a journalist, are you comfortable with this?
No, I'm not. I'm not a supporter of Taliban, and I feel sorry for everyone who are suffering because of these government
because of
Taliban.
The ISI.
And more than that,
no, because your army,
who are supporting Taliban, because
you're putting your entire military machine, your ISI, towards getting a little bit of an association or partnership with the Taliban. So you have to be clear about this. You support what the ISI is doing with the Taliban when you know what the byproduct of that relationship is for the women of Afghanistan?
no, I'm not supporting ISI or anybody, or even government or establishment who are supporting Taliban government. I always said that they are doing wrong. And this is, we are suffering here because I feel sorry for people of Pakistan more than people of Afghanistan. Because they are doing the wrong thing. We are supporting Taliban, and we have said in these 20 years, we make the mindset of Talibani soch humne bana liye that this is very wrong. And I feel that sooner or later we will face the troubles here.
And my message to Afghanistan, my message to Islamabad is, sister, if we're not going to stand together against this, and if we're not speak about this nationally, internationally, this is gonna hurt us very bad. It's gonna come back to Pakistan, and it's gonna hunt the women of Pakistan as well. Today, it's the women of Afghanistan, the people and children of Afghanistan. Tomorrow, it will the people of Pakistan. Believe me, it's gonna come and hunt Pakistan back, or the ISI, whoever is supporting this regime, this collaboration of Taliban and the extremists and their existence. I just cannot believe that the last 20 years was a lie on the face of earth, that everyone was talking about the fight against terrorism, and we still have a Taliban regime in Afghanistan, and so many people are keeping quiet. So I request you to speak to your community.
Tariq Ghaznewal, can you hear me?
I'm 100% agree with you.
Tariq Ghaznewal, can you hear me? Mr. Ghaznewal, can you hear me? मेरी आवाज़ आ रही है आपको? मेरी आवाज़ आ रही है आपको?
आ रहा है।
आपको लग नहीं रहा है कि आप जो कर रहे हैं अभी, जो बर्बरता आप कर रहे हैं वहाँ पे, तालिबान जो वहाँ के औरतों पे कर रही है, वहाँ पे विमेन पे कर रही है, वहाँ के मीडिया पे कर रही है, ये ज़्यादा दिन चलने वाली नहीं है। आपको समझना पड़ेगा कि आपकी सरकार जो है, तालिबान सरकार है, उसको अगर पूरी दुनिया उसको एक्सेप्ट नहीं करे तो आप अकेले पड़ जाएंगे, आप कुछ नहीं कर पाएंगे। और अफ़गानिस्तान के औरतों को 20 साल से वहाँ पे फ्री है, वो इंडिपेंडेंट हो गए हैं। आप उनको फिर से रिप्रेस करके उन पे दबाव डाल के आप नहीं चला पाएंगे। हमारे यहाँ एक्टिविस्ट है हमारे प्रोग्राम पर आज, वी हैव एन एक्टिविस्ट विद अस, वो खुद बोल रही हैं, उनको चुप नहीं करा पा रहे। आपने कितना दबाव डाला है उन पर, मगर वो फिर भी आके टीवी पे इधर उधर वो बोल रही हैं, प्रोटेस्ट हो रही हैं। कितने औरतों को मारेंगे आप, और शर्म नहीं आती है? आप मतलब आपकी जो सरकार है वहाँ पे, क्या है तालिबानी सरकार को शर्म नहीं आती है औरतों पर हाथ उठाने में, औरतों पर गोलियां बरसाने में? शर्म नहीं आती है क्या? जी
अपने बहने बेटे, तो जो भी हम कर रहे हैं वो आप दिखा रही हो प्रोपेगेंडा है, मतलब असल बात ऐसा नहीं है। 2 दिन पहले मतलब वो प्रोटेस्ट हुआ था, उसका जो क्लिप है आप बार बार दिखा रहे हैं। ऐसा मतलब दुनिया के मुल्क में प्रोटेस्ट हो रहा है और कुछ ऐसा लड़ाई और फायरिंग वगैरह कुछ भी हो रहा है।
You're in denial. You're in denial. Let me try. Professor Paktin, you're an academic. Professor Paktin, can you hear me? Professor Paktin, you are an academic. You're a professor. Are you comfortable with this? Do you not hear these voices? Do you not fear for your people? Can't hear. I think I just lost the line there. I lost the line there again. Murzal, we have an activist who's speaking up in Kabul. Can I ask you something? Ma'am, are you not worried about yourself when there are so many people out there, when there are so many threats? Can you tell us the kind of threats that women activists are receiving in Kabul today? That question was to the activist, Anand. Yes, please. Can you hear me, ma'am? I'm referring to you as the activist on the program, not by your name. My question was to you, are you not worried about the threats that you face? What are the kind of threats that women activists are facing in Kabul today?
Okay. So, social activists are under control of Taliban. They threatened them. For example, I'm a social activist and also a musician poet. I'm in hiding from Taliban. I can't go in my home. I'm in hiding and can't go in my home. I can't see my family. I can meet them. I can go outside because many times I tried it by Taliban directly. That if they reach me, they will kill me. I do big risk to accept this interview and in this famous TV. And also it's a big shame for Mr. Mutmain that said directly the lies, the wrong things about the Taliban and support them. Why he is doing this by his people? So the simple is me that I cannot raise my voice, I cannot go outside, I don't have my freedom, I cannot go university, I can't do what I want. So my family is in danger. They went to my home and beat my brothers a lot. So what is this situation?
You're saying that your family has been targeted. Your family has been targeted by the Taliban, you say?
It's a shame for you. It's a big shame for you. Please, don't say more lies for the world. We have to say the right thing for the world. We have to say what is real, what is actually happening in Afghanistan. All women are the main victim of these events. Women cannot go outside, they cannot go to bus and car, they cannot go to job. Even the Taliban removed the Ministry of Women because they cannot just support from their rights. I don't know where is the human rights in Afghanistan. Never we can see the real meaning of human rights in Afghanistan that support the women. Women are killing by Taliban. They are under foot of Taliban. Taliban don't count the women as the human. They just count them as second sex, and they just.
I think it's very brave of you. I'll only say this. I think it's exceptionally brave of you to come out and speak. And the fact that and the fact that
and transfer them in unclear place. But we don't know this.
I will only say this, that I think it's very, very brave of you to come out and speak, and the fact that your family is being targeted, you're in hiding and coming out and speaking. I hope it gives courage to thousands of others, who will take an example from you. And viewers, if we don't stand with the women of Afghanistan now, then I don't think we can ever speak about gender rights or human rights in the future. And viewers, before I go, Sandeep Patil says the Taliban wants women to remain in the kitchen and only give birth. The simplest way to revolt and support the women of Afghanistan is for women of power in other countries to decline to speak to Taliban officials unless they get a woman of the same rank to speak to them. No woman, no deal. Sandeep, I completely agree with you, and I shall see you after the weekend. Good night and goodbye.